and welcome to the Habits and Home Show. I'm your host, Lisa Lazat, and I help busy moms bring order to their homes by downsizing and decluttering and ditching old habits in exchange for systems that bring peace and more enjoyment to their lives. If you're a mom trying to show the love of Jesus to your family, but the clutter in your home keeps you overwhelmed and frustrated, you have come to the right place. On this podcast, you will hear easy, step-by-step tips to declutter and create systems so you can keep your home organized and finally walk in the peace God has promised you. Need some accountability? I've got you covered there too. Join the Accountability Club, a community of like-minded mamas decluttering and systemizing our homes together. Are you ready, friend? Let's get started. Hey friends, and welcome to the show. I'm not sure if you can tell in my voice, but I have been sick this week and lost my voice for a couple of days. It's just come back. I'm still under the weather, but I wanted to get this episode out to you this week so that we can stay consistent in the new year. So I wanted to share with you a couple of tips that I shared in the Accountability Club this past week on our group coaching call. We do 2 group coaching calls a month in the club. I'm not sure if you're aware. We cover a topic, a main area of our home, in our life, whatever the topic is, and I give you some tutorials on what to do approaching that topic, and I challenge you to declutter and organize in that area. So in the month of January, our topic is always to reset our photos on our smartphones. Hopefully we're going to get to our videos this year as well. Last year, a lot of my students were just getting started with our photos, and I'm hoping to be able to teach them what to do with their videos as well so that we can create really good home videos. But what I wanted to do and why I didn't want to push off this episode until next week when I am feeling better and my voice is back to normal is I want you to go into the new year with better habits and better routines with your photos and with taking photos and capturing photos and videos on your phone. I don't want you to get too far into the year and get behind or stick with your old bad habits. I really want you to go into this new year with at least these 3 good habits for taking photos and videos on your phone. Now, I did think about not putting this episode out today because I really wanted to have the photo course and the video course available for you to purchase. I do make these available inside the Accountability Club, but I don't quite have them up on the shop for you to purchase unless you are a member in the club. Now, let me just tell you, I've had a couple of people message me on Instagram or email me. You can join month to month. Of course, you start your membership, but if you just want to do the month of January because you like the topic of decluttering your photos and videos, then hop in with us. It's not too late. And then you can cancel your membership at any time. You can start back at any time and you can cancel at any time. It's totally up to you. It's very affordable as well. And even if you don't join us in our live coaching calls, which is the meat and potatoes of the group because it is the Accountability Club, and I have you take action right there on our group calls. Whether you work with me one-on-one or you are in the Accountability Club, when I'm in a coaching call, I always have you take action right there because task initiation is something that a lot of us, especially us ADHD moms, struggle with. And so I always want you to walk away from our sessions with having done something with the hour that you spend with me, okay? So moving forward, be looking out for in the shop and in my email list. Hopefully you're on the email list. I don't email a lot because I don't like clutter, but hopefully you're on the email list. I am, once this month is over, I'm going to give myself some grace to be able to get that course up so that you can purchase it and go back and have a system. Okay, my passion is breaking down large tasks so that you can have a system to as you work through these different projects. I was just working with a client this morning. She has a standing session with me every Friday at 9 o'clock, and she had this cluttered area in her upstairs loft area, and she's like, I just don't even know how to start. And so my on the outside looking in, I could give her a step by step and give her a system for approaching that clutter. And so that's what I do with all of my clients, all of my students on each and every coaching call is I want to provide you a system for attacking your clutter and hopefully giving you the tools to create really good habits to maintain that space so that it doesn't go back to the way it was. Okay. So be on the lookout in my email. I might even announce it here on the podcast. You could check out the website. But in the shop, I'm giving myself that goal and that deadline to have that photo decluttering course, as well as how to take really good home videos using your iPhone or using your smartphone. Okay, so without further ado, I want to get these 3 good habits for taking photos and videos on your phone out to you so that you can start the year better organized. Now, if you have tons of pictures and photos from past years, just ignore them for now until you can either work with me one-on-one in the Accountability Club or through my courses. But just ignore them for now and apply these good habits moving forward. Okay, so habit number 1, let me get my notes really quickly. Okay, habit number 1 is take less photos and take less videos. Now, I know you're gonna be like, oh, but I love taking photos. I love taking videos. I get it. But quality matters more than quantity. Okay. Quality over quantity. So what I want you to do is I want you to be more mindful of the photos and videos you take this year. Not everything has to be recorded. Okay. Your eyes, I want you to trust. I want you to trust that God gave you the eyes that will record what you need to know in the future. Yes, there might be some things that we lose in our memory, but truly and honestly, we don't. God did not intend for us to remember everything. Our brain can only, it's a really helpful organ and tool, but it really shouldn't and can't hold everything. And so we've created these tools like our cameras and videos so that we can remember all these great events. But sometimes we just have too much that it's beyond our capacity to even manage what we take in. Okay, so just like the items that you are bringing into your home, when you bring it in, you then have to make decisions for it. You have to make the decision of where it's going to be stored. You have to make this decision ongoing of how you're going to maintain it. You then one day have to make the decision to let it go. So just like we want to be more mindful about what we bring into our home physically, I want you to be more mindful about the photos and videos you take. Say you're going to, for instance, for young moms, if you are taking your kids to the park, and you just have to have a photo that specific day at the park. Take one photo, put your phone away, and enjoy your kids at the park. Don't scroll. Don't take photos of every little thing your child is doing. Just be in the moment. Be in the moment. And honestly, this really convicted me a couple of years ago. I don't want because think about how your children are looking at you. You're seeing your children and you just see a child. You just see beautiful, wholesome child. But your kids, when they look back at you, they're seeing a device in front between you and your child. They're seeing a device in your hand. And so they are essentially looking through you or looking at you with always this thing in between you two. Okay, that's the image that they are seeing. So I want us to go into 2025 with the conviction of we want our children to see our full face. We want our children to see us engage. We want to see our children seeing them through our eyes and recording them through our eyes and not behind a screen. Because keep in mind, whatever you are showing an example of right now in your motherhood, your sons and daughters, they will repeat it into their motherhood and then to their fatherhood, into their parenthood. What do you want for your children one day? Do you want them to be ever distracted and feeling like they have to record every single moment behind a camera or behind a phone? No. Well, set that example. Have the self-control and be really mindful about the photos and videos you take this year, okay? Like I said earlier, once you have these photos and videos, they are hard to purge. So I want you to be really selective in what you take in the first place. Just like bringing in items in your home, once you have it, it's really hard to let it go. So be selective and be really, really mindful moving forward into this new year, how many photos you take and how many videos, okay? Speaking of videos, tip number 2 or habit number 2, I want you to start practicing in this new year. When you do take a video, I want you to turn your phone sideways and I want you to take it in landscape form. Unless you are an influencer taking videos for social media videos, turn your phone sideways and start recording in landscape mode, okay? Because think about this one day. Imagine you're an 80-year-old grandma and you want to go through home videos and you've only taken them in portrait mode. And for one thing, they're probably still on your phone or your tablet or your device, right? So you have your 20-something family members gathered around you, and you're all trying to enjoy a home video. And keep in mind, these are probably like 30-minute clips because you haven't practiced taking really good home videos and creating them, which I'm going to teach you how to do in my video course. I love this. I'm really excited to create that course for you. But can you imagine sitting around as an 80-something-year-old grandmother, and God bless you grandmothers if you're listening to this, like that is not a enjoyable experience. You want to be able to organize your videos old school, put them up on the TV and enjoy them for the entire family, So like when you record in portrait mode, if you do put it up on your TV, you have these big black margins on either side of your video, and it makes the video less enjoyable, right? It's not good quality. So I want you to discipline yourself. And I've been talking to my niece about this. She has a couple of new babies, and I get onto her all the time when she sends me pictures and videos of them. Stop recording in portrait mode. Because it's not, when you put all these videos together one day, which I'm going to show you how to do to create a home video, you want the quality to be wide. You want it to take up your entire TV screen because that's how we watch TV. That's how we watch videos, right? So discipline yourself to start taking videos in landscape form. Now, you keep in mind, let's go back to habit number 1. You don't have to record every little thing. When you make home videos, which I'm going to share with you and teach you how to do in the Easy Home Video course for your smartphone, I want you to think about okay, so yes, you have a couple of little clips throughout the month of January, February, and March. Then you can splice all of those together and create one home video that covers all of that time span. But say you go on vacation, think about taking small little snippets and small little clips so that you can piece those together and make an entire 8 to 10 minute home video of your trip. I've started doing this with our family vacations every year, and even our Christmases, like our video from this past Christmas was 4 minutes long, and it was just enough to highlight and to remember what went on at that particular time in my life, okay? So be really mindful about the photos and videos you take, but then also when you take them, take your videos in landscape form so that when you do pop it up on your TV, it fills out the entire TV. All right, habit number 3. This is one that I got really good at this past year. So when I started decluttering my photos, I was a lot like most of you, just snapping, taking, never going through and deleting them or anything. And then when I finally started systemizing my life and becoming a very systematic person, the topic of my phone came up, and I was like, I feel just so overwhelmed. first it was like my emails, and I finally got that under control and created good habits for my emails. And then how I use my phone, well, actually that came after the photos. But anyway, when I finally got on board with decluttering and purging and creating a system for organizing my photos, it was a lot all at one time. And so I wanted to be more like diligent about purging and organizing my photos regularly. So when the end of the year came, it wasn't a big task to do. It's kind of like what a lot of y'all are doing when you first get started with me. You declutter your entire house, and it's a lot to do at one time. But then after that, my goal is for you to declutter as you go so that it doesn't build up to a huge insurmountable task for you to have to accomplish, right? So the same goes with our photos. So what I want you to do, habit number 3, is that I want you to purge monthly. I recommend putting this task as a part of your end of the month reset. So the end of the month reset for me is like clean out my car, go through my photos, and look at our family budget. Okay, so I love resets. I have daily resets, weekly, monthly, and yearly resets, which I shared with you in the last episode. So in your monthly reset, your end of the month reset, sit down, you're watching TV, your husband's watching TV, your kids or whatever, and you're just scrolling through the last month of your photos and videos and just go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid and purge. I want you to strive. This might be hard for a lot of us who have no self-control over taking photos and videos, but I really want you to strive for only keeping about 20 photos for each month. That's a good amount of photos. Like if you were to print those out, that would be a good amount to represent your month, right? So at the end of the year, you have about 250 photos to represent your entire year. If you were to print that out, put it in a photo book, that would be a lot of photos. A lie. But just because it's digital, we think we can just collect as many as we want, right? But our brain can only take in and handle so much information. So you are essentially still cluttering up your life, even though it's not physical clutter. Okay. So I want you to discipline yourself. Put it on your calendar, set it as a reminder on your phone, whatever it is. I want you to go through your pictures and your videos at the end of each month and delete what you can let go of. Okay, keep in mind 20 is a really good number. Now, obviously, give yourself grace. Like I tell my clients, like I tell my students, we declutter in layers. Okay, the first layer, we're like, we kind of dip our toe in a little bit. But then after we've gone through it, we've like stretched that muscle and worked out that decluttering muscle a little bit, then we feel like we can do more, right? So if it's hard at first to just keep 20, then give yourself some grace, okay? But I really want you to strive to keep up with your phone's photos this year and purge as you go so that it's not so hard when you get to the end of the year and you feel like you're deleting your precious little children's faces, okay? Don't worry. Keep in mind, God is going to provide. You have all that you need. Trust that what you do keep is enough. Trust that what you have is enough, okay? So let me go back over those 3 good habits that I want you to start practicing for taking photos and videos on your phone this year. Habit number 1, take less photos and videos. Be really mindful about what you collect. Number 2, video in landscape mode. Number 3, do a monthly purge of your photos and your videos. Okay, friends, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. It is not too late to join us this month in the Accountability Club to work through your photos with us and get some accountability, some tips, like doing it with us on the call on Tuesday, which was our first call. I was coaching people and everybody had their phones out and they were decluttering right there on the phone. I have one student, Claire. Congratulations, Claire. She's already went through all of her photos for the year 2024 and I'm super proud of them. They're all chipping away at, Tiara as well. She's gone through her photos for the year 2024. And so they're moving on to the next step, which is step number 3, which is what I share with you inside the Accountability Club. Okay, I give you an entire system for that. I'm not going to give it to you here because most of y'all need accountability. and you're going to listen to this episode, but you're not going to put it into practice. Now, some of you will, and you are great podcast students, but some of y'all need that extra layer of support. And I offer that support inside the Accountability Club. But then if you need to work with me one-on-one, I offer that as well. All of those links for all of those resources are down below. I hope that you will take advantage of those. They are very affordable. I keep my services affordable because I know what it's like to be a mom, especially stay-at-home moms or non-working moms or whatever season you're in. Or even if you are a working mom and know what it's like to even go to your husband and say, hey, I want to do this thing. So I try to keep my services available or affordable for everyone. Okay. Sorry this was long-winded, and I'm sorry for my voice. Please forgive me, but this is a topic that I'm really passionate about, and I want you to move forward with some good habits going into the new year. All right, friends, I will see you right here next time on the Habits at Home Show.
Hey friend, before you go, I wanted to tell you more about the Accountability Club. Each month, we'll tackle a new space in our homes and work together to declutter and set up systems so we can easily maintain order without getting overwhelmed. You'll get a new decluttering tutorial each month, the coaching and accountability you need to actually follow through, and encouragement without judgment from other Christian moms in a safe environment. And guess what? The entire club is off of social media, so you don't have to worry about distractions the world may throw at you. Sweet friend, if you're feeling stuck in your decluttering journey, this is the place for you. Click the link below to try out the Accountability Club and start decluttering today.